every day shooting free throws, shooting three-pointers all day long. And there's some people out here making $8 an hour who don't even want to get up on a Saturday and do something extra that'll benefit their life. And that's the difference between those people who are good, those people who are great, and those people who are extraordinary. And I want to be the third one. You know what I mean? And if you don't want to be that, you got a competition with a bunch of people who are going to do what they're supposed to do. People don't even want to go to the gym. You don't even want to go to the damn gym. You talking about you want to get on the stage. You're not even talking about you look and how you look. I'm talking about your win. Let's forget about the parents part of it. I'm not talking about going to the gym so you can look like Beyonce. Beyonce running up and down the stage in high heels and singing. She's not lip singing. You know what I mean? And it's the competition. Now, if you're telling yourself, and I told that to a young lady, and she said, well, I don't want to be that big. I just want to be. I said, oh, no, we don't even need to be told. If you don't want to be the greatest of it, what's the point of doing it? You know what I mean? Want some money? Because you hit the lotto and still be a loser. You got to really want to do something with your life and it affects people. You know what I mean? You got to make sure that your words are impactful and when your presence is felt. When you come somewhere, people like, I rock with Holmes. He said something that touched me. She said something that touched me, that spoke to me. If you ain't trying to do that, and you just trying to get some money, you losing already.
Question?
So I don't really know how to put this, but what type of qualities should an artist have? Like, I know you should always be yourself. Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm always going to be myself. Like, I can't be nothing but myself. Mm-hmm. But, like, what type of qualities, what type of... You know what I mean?
It's
like,
really something you can't really put your finger on because there's so many different types of artists, you know?
Right.
Like, you got an artist like Adele, right? Who came out and she sang so good and she showed such great songs and she sang with such conviction that you got it. And then her personality is so bubbly and bright and fun and, you know, she just had that... Stars come in all different shapes, sizes, and looks. It's about that star shining. So it's no particular quality that you could pinpoint because if it was... then everybody would just start acting like that.
It's called having it. Right?
Yeah, it's just an it factor. You can't even explain what it is. It's just that thing when you walk into a room, people feel like, I feel like I should be listening to her. You know what I mean?
Rico.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. So, you know, the mistake is a lot of people think, oh, it just happened for you, and, you know, and you just, you know. But everybody should know that everybody has their own walk and their own struggle, especially when you're trying to be successful at something. You talked about sleeping on the corner boy's couch, but really, what else did you go through before you even got to, you know, where you are now, before you even got halfway there?
Yeah, I went to FAMU, right, and I had met my manager, Vincent Searcy, my management at the time, and him and Ken Underwood. These are street guys. Ken is doing... He finishing a 12-year bid right now, you know, and he'll be home this summer. And these are street guys who really invest and believe in me. But in order for them to do it, they had to get up out the streets for a little while. So they didn't have the money to move me around. So I could have just stayed in FAMU in school. So I got the credit cards. Remember when you know how you go to college and they give the kids the credit cards that ruin your life?
Yeah.
So I got the credit cards and I would go to Atlanta every weekend from Tallahassee on the bus, 7.5 hours. Like on Friday night when most kids is getting ready to go out to the club, I was getting on the bus to go to Atlanta. And I would go every single weekend. And I'm talking about ran up the credit cards, back and forth. It was $35 each way on the Greyhound. So that's $75 a week on the credit card. 2 credit cards with $800 limits a piece. So I was maxing it, you know what I mean?
Oh, you was balling back then.
They'll let you go over. And you know what's crazy is I was so focused that I didn't spend the credit card on anything else. You know what I mean? I didn't get shoes. I didn't get, you know, food. That was all I focused on was getting on the bus and going out there. And I made the relationships. And then it's a guy out here named BJ. He used to go out there with me too, BJ Horton. And he was already out there because he was living with Jackie. But I was going every weekend and just kind of like meeting with him and sleeping on the floors. And then I got kicked out of school because of my financial aid. What happened was they mixed up my paperwork with somebody else's. So, and I'm going to tell y'all how God is so real. They mixed up my financial aid paperwork with somebody else. My mom thought I was lying. She thought I was making it up because she said, I just filled it out. There's no way they tell you don't got financial aid because she knew I didn't want to be in school no more. So she said, nah, you playing games with me and you this and she got so upset. So they kicked me out of school and I said, I told the corner boys, I'm just going to stay with y'all because I'm not going back to school even though I had to pay the, rent at this place because I had a lease. And that Tuesday, they kicked me out on a Thursday. That Tuesday, that's when Usher asked them to remix the song, and I rapped on it, and we met Usher. If I would have been in school, I would have been back on Monday. And that Tuesday, I wouldn't have been there for that whole experience. You know what I mean? So even with that, I was still, you know, we was grinding, doing our thing. But I was literally back and forth on the bus. When I got kicked out of school, I really was like, you know, homeless. I didn't have $1. I didn't have anything. But it was the most fun I ever had in my life. It's that smooth as butter.
What's happening?
Oh, wow. Smooth as butter. Be looking forward to you posting them pictures of the girls from the clubs every week. I'll be like, who's Smooth as Butter going to post this week?
Starlights on. Turn the lights out.
Nah, but I always remember that was the most fun I had in my life. It was like everybody liked me, everybody was cool, and everybody, you know, people, hometown was rooting for me and all of that. And then as soon as it happened for me, that's when everybody had these imaginary problems with me. That's when we started having these crazy beefs. Like it's guys out here who made the record about me. You know these sucker niggas is, but I still don't know what the problem is. I still don't know where it all started. We was like speaking one day, and then the next day it was like a song out about me, and I'm like, I still right now don't even know we never had an argument. You know what I mean? We never had one argument. We never had a scuffle. I saw him one day. Imagine if you saw your friend, even though these wasn't my best friends. These was new guys. So when you're dealing with new people, you got to expect that. But I wanted the crew. I wanted when 50 had G, you know. So I was just finding these guys, and I thought they was cool guys. So I would say in my defense, they wasn't like guys I grew up with and nothing like that. But all the grind was, I'm saying that to say, when the grind was the best part, it was the most fun I had. And people don't appreciate the grind because all they thinking about is what they don't have. I didn't even have a chance to think about what I didn't have because I was having so much fun making music. And, you know, I was sleeping on their couch, right? And if they had a meeting and something going on at 6 a.m., we'd be up till 4 a.m. making music. I was lay down for 2 hours. I'd have to get up, make up the couch, fold up the cover, sit in the other room while they handle their business, and then come back and we would just do music and we would laugh. And I would write raps for people, so I would get paid like that. I would get like $200-300 here and $500 here. And I remember how, you know, what it felt like to get $50, you know, and you like, oh yeah, like you know how you got 50, you like,
You ain't got no money. Woo! Thank you, Jesus.
And I remember that feeling in that moment, you know what I mean? And to now, you know, have millions and stuff, you just really, you kind of forget that sometimes you forget what it felt like, you know, to not have it. But I was just like bugging out, man. But that part of it was the best part. Because, like I said, it was love. It was like everybody was rooting for you. And you don't see, because this is how it works with success. If everybody in the class gets a D, we're all happy. Because there's no curve. If one person gets an A, the whole class is mad at him like, damn, now because you messed up the grading curve. And that's what success is. When one person from your town is successful, everybody else, because honestly, a lot of people don't really believe they're going to be successful. They say it, and they say they're going to do their thing, but in their mind, they like, this ain't going to happen for me. Me, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen for me. I didn't have one doubt in my mind. I wasn't even... Everything I'm doing right now, I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to happen this exact way. But even my future, I know what it's going to be already. I know. But a lot of people don't believe in themselves. So when it happens for you, the curve changes. And you got to understand this, especially with males. We have so much pride. So if a guy is not really successful and somebody else is successful, imagine it's he doing bad and his girlfriend in there singing a Rico Love song. He like, I'm gonna kill this thing. And that's what success is. And when you didn't have it, you know, I just remember when it was all like love, when it was all just carefree, and we just was all making music, and it was just pure. And this thing, that's why I embrace the struggle, man. Embrace the process. That's the most fun you're gonna have. Because out here it's real. It's really real. I've had so many hit records, and it don't matter. Like, no matter what happened, people be like, oh, what you did next? And you're like, damn, man, what did you do first? You know, so it's like that. So I just say embrace that hustle.
That was one question?
Yeah.
That was my question.
I got a trick. I like to throw in like 89 different answers in there.
Who haven't you worked with yet that you really want to work with?
Rufus Wainwright.
Who's that?
It's a super duper dope artist, producer, singer, songwriter, and he's a genius. He's a gay guy out of New York, and he does an album called Want One, which is one of my favorite albums of all time, right? And he wrote this song called Natasha, where he explains to his girlfriend that he's gay. And I thought that was so genius. So I listened to the entire album like 50 times. And when I was living in LA, I used to just listen to it all the time. And I just thought, like, this dude is such a genius. And he broke me out of my homophobia. You know what I mean? Like, listening to him and understanding his struggle. And the reason why I love his music so much is because I feel like if I was so ignorant to fear homosexuals, and after hearing this, he made me not be like that no more. That just shows how powerful his music and his songwriting was. So that's why I'm just always a big fan of him and his music.
Yeah, don't fear us.
Oh, don't fear. Okay.
Okay, my question to you is, like, me and my fiance were up and coming. We're trying to get out here with our music, and we have a lot of people who really don't want to support because my problem is I think they're like haters because they hear our music and for the most part it's good. So, and we don't stop. But what advice do you have for us with getting out of here in that struggle?
I just go. Like, even if you gotta, because here it's not going to be as easy to happen here. So you got to go to where it's at. And you got to, and it might not be Atlanta for you. It might not be LA for you. It might not be New York. So it might be somewhere else. And you just got to figure it out and visit places and really figure out a routine. You know what I mean? Just involve yourself with the process. For instance, my engineer, now, he was my intern. He started off as my intern, and he was just so good at being an intern. He didn't talk about being an engineer. He didn't tell me, because what'll annoy a person really bad is if you go up to Puff every day and say, Puff, I write music. He's like, yo, my man, I need you to get my coffee, though. You know what I mean? So you got to just really do what you do well, and I promise you the opportunity is to present itself to you. So, for example, my intern was so on point. Like, I would order food, and I would make a comment like, I don't like the lettuce. This is bad, right? And then I drink a water and I put it down. It'll be almost gone. I turn around, I got a brand new water. Or, so then I would say, one day I was like, I'm hungry. He'd be like, yo, he'll pull out a pad and he would say, on Thursday you had this sandwich here, but you didn't like the lettuce on that. On Tuesday you didn't like this. So I was just like, yo, what do you like so on point? So I asked him, I said, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want? He said, I want to be an engineer and everything, but I don't want to press you. I don't want to tell you, I just want to do my job, but I really want to be an engineer, right? So I was like, man, this is a really good kid. And later, I had an engineer at the time, and I was working with Kelly Rowland when I first started working on an album. Her issue was, put the cameras down for this.